Hello and welcome to Julian's Lab. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to do an HA Fortinet Active-Active. I'll be following this diagram that you can see, and we need to do the following. We need to predefine two host names, in my case firewall HA1 and HA2. We also need to define a cluster name, and both firewalls in the end they're going to have the same LAN IP, same WAN IP, same DMZs, and the cables, the wires, they need to be very similar to how my diagram shows. And with that being said, you have to consider a few things when you set up either active-active or active-passive. Is not working with DHCP or PPPoE, assign IP on any interface, but it can be a DHCP server on the LAN, and you must have the same hardware and the same firmware on both firewalls before you're going to start doing this setup. Now, as you can see, I have two FortiGate ATE. I name one of those, as my diagram shows, HA1. I named the other one HA2. I gave them two different IPs in two different colors. One is 192.168.1.199, my HA2, and the other one, it's 1.1, so I have access to both of those. And I'm going to proceed with navigating to System HA. And here we have to choose Active-Active. Priority, we need to set up a priority. And even though that priority might not matter, we can have two different priorities on two different firewalls. And the reason being, we're still going to define one firewall always as a master, the other one is going to be a slave. What that means to you, when you log in, you're always going to log in, let's just say, to HA1, so you're not going to log into HA2. Okay. Now, also, a group name needs to be defined, needs to be the same exact one on both firewalls. The same exact two heartbeat interfaces needs to be predefined on both firewalls, and the same password. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to join the cluster. Also, very important, and I did those before. Fortinet, they recommend the priority interface not to be equal. Kind of like on the active-passive firewall, they need to have the same priority. On the active-active, they need to have two different priorities. And I'll just hit OK. Same thing, System HA, I'll go and choose Active-Active, lower priority, same group name, same password, same two ports. I think was 10 and 20. And I forgot to mention that well, no, the first one is waiting for this cluster, and as I'll hit OK, I'll pause my recording because it'll take a few moments before it's going to rejoin. So it took about 40-50 seconds for this cluster to form. And also the problem that I had right after the second firewall, the HA2, joined the cluster, I had here a red X, and I had to run this magic command called execute HA synchronize start. It took about 2 minutes, and after that I had the second green check mark that told me that those two firewalls they're in sync at this point. A good valid test will be you go and kill the power to, let's just say, the primary one, and the secondary one should be able to pass the traffic back and forth. And if you'll do the same for the secondary firewall, the primary one should be able to take ownership of those sessions. And with that being said, I forgot to mention, if you enable those sessions pick up, that means both firewalls are going to be aware of all the TCP UDP sessions that they're passing through the firewall. So the end users, they're not really going to be fully aware of the fact that one of the firewall went down. With this being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.